Hello, this is Victor at RestoreYourMercedes.com. This video is for local customer, for Jay in New York. And finally, I put these throttles back together. Not finally, I did them today, so I just put them in. Previous video, if you look at my channel, you can see how I explain the problems with these motors and these small bolt case throttle bodies. Okay, so it's a big problem. I mean, they always fail. So I do have both throttles installed back in the vehicle, and right now I even connected mass airflow sensors. So I just want to start it up, even though it's very late at night. I mean, because you can see it's like, pretty late. But anyway, my agenda for the day was to get this car running, because I cannot have cars that don't run for a long time. I just want them to be running if I need to move them around. So right now we're going to start it. So before we start it, I'm going to show you the old gasket that I actually talked about before. This is the regular paper gasket, self-made. That's not a good idea, because again, they will compress over time because it's paper. Original Mercedes gasket is different material, so it does not compress. This was on the passenger side, so when I was removing the passenger side throttle body, basically bolts came out just easy with my hands. I mean, it was just like I didn't have to even use a wrench. I just took a socket and then just put it on, and they just came out. Now with the original gasket, that's not going to happen. So on the driver's side we have good gasket, and now we have proper gasket on the passenger side. Now, so first thing is that we're going to put on the ignition. Okay, so let's put on the ignition and listen for throttle bodies. They have to get the learning curve done. So you don't have to do it, but it's good to do it, because if you don't do it, then cruise control will not work. So let's just wait. Driver's side unit right here, making a nice humming sound, learning. That's it. So they went through cycle, and now they are ready. So right now we can start the car and run it. Now, before I do start the vehicle, I also want to show another problem that I just realized that there is a problem with this vehicle, is that fuel pressure regulator will have to be replaced, because look at this fuel. Look at this. You see the fuel is coming out really bad. That's actually really bad. You see right there, out of its spigot, so it's burst. The membrane is done, so we have to really do fuel pressure regulator regardless, because that's not a good scenario. You cannot have fuel coming out of fuel pressure regulator, because it goes straight into the intake manifold, and then the pressure is always high if it's burst. So that is something to be done. You don't want your pressure to be always high. You want pressure to be regulated. You're not gonna blow up your engine, but still the pressure has to be regulated. So as you can see, this is fuel on my fingers, and that is something I have to use a napkin for, or paper towel for. So let me just get the paper towel first off, because I don't want to touch anything inside the vehicle with my fingers that have fuel on them, because fuel smells for quite a long time. Alright, so let's just start it up and see what we get. Like I said before, it's a beautiful car, so we'll get it done right. So here we have ignition on. Let's just start it up. Let's see what happens. I do feel vibration because engine mounts are low transmission mount, I don't know, but it basically runs the same as it used to be. It's just that we're trying to get rid of the ASR problem. I have to figure something out with that fan. That fan is very annoying too. It's just like very loud. But as you can see, there are no ASR lights, no ABS lights, so throttles work. They haven't been broken in, but during the driving the car, they will get broken in. They'll be fine. I did it like really nice. I mean, it's just like the best I can do with them. So acceleration, so as you can see, it accelerates. My problem right now is the fuel pressure regulator. That could be the cause why the initial start is not the same as it's. I mean, I know these cars well, so I know how they're supposed to start, and this car does not start the way it's supposed to start, so that could be the case. Fuel pressure regulator, because I didn't look into it, because the car came for different problem, and it was just something that I just looked into today, just now, just actually like an hour ago. So, and I discovered that there is a problem there with the diaphragm. So engine runs. Runs actually pretty well, but still that fuel pressure regulator is not giving the right pressure, I'm sure, because it's leaking fuel. So we basically have fuel going into the intake manifold. Obviously it shouldn't be there. That's extra fuel that shouldn't be there, so that is to be replaced. What else? The e-gas module, I changed my well, not mine, but the capacitors inside, and other than that, I mean, it runs pretty much the same. But these few little things have to be taken care of. That pressure regulator for sure. Well, let me try to open it up. Let's see if it's gonna just like basically going to squirt fuel out. Look at that. It just squirts out fuel. That's bad. You can't have it. That's like no go. You don't want fuel into your intake, unmetered fuel. But anyway, that is the next thing. I'm gonna check it out. But right now, the objective for today, my personal agenda was to get this car started and running, because I need to move it around. Throttle bodies are done, they're installed, the car runs, the car starts. Obviously I can drive it around. That fuel pressure regulator will be replaced. That has to be done regardless, because I also did the smoke test and it didn't reveal anything. But I do not like the way this car starts, because at this mileage, it's just that it should start way better than this. I have another car over there, that's my wife's, that's a 600 as well, that's a coupe. It actually had the same ASR problem, then like just an exactly same problem with motors on these throttle bodies. So most likely, and about 99% chance, that was the problem. So in previous video you can see that I was talking about motors. I was talking about how the other company didn't mess it up. I mean, they didn't do a good job. They did mess it up. They did mess up another motor, and I'm just saying. So that's the same thing happened on my wife's car. So, and I'm pretty much positive that this exactly what happened with this vehicle. So now there are no other things that I can think of. This is it. This should be fine. So anyway, this was a long video, so right now I'm gonna wrap this up. This was the ASR situation. Next thing will be that the fuel pressure regulator over there. That has to be done. E-gas I took care of and assemble it back together, and then some other small little things here and there. But other than that, it is a nice car, and it will be nice runner for a long time. I mean, it runs perfect. I mean, the engine is nice. I don't know, I love it. I mean, this car is nice. I mean, I don't know, for some reason, I mean, I have these feelings about certain cars, and for some reason this car, I mean, I really like, because this has that I don't know, it's just like extra kind of feel to it. Because many other cars that I have feel of, for like I have another car over there that has a nice potential right there. This is a black S600 over there, and but that car needs more work. It needs to be done. So, but this one, without all this extra work, this is already good. That car needs to be taken care of. Even my wife's car, it needs work, and I don't like it, and that's why I don't have a feel for it as much as I have a feel for this car, because this is so mint. All right, so I'm gonna just wrap this up, because it's a long time, and it's a long day, and well, I don't know, maybe I'll just accelerate it once more. I'll take a look at other things with this vehicle later on, but as you can see, it's running like very nice and smooth at exactly RPMs we need it to be at in this temperature. Acceleration brisk, just like instant. That was just tapping on the pedal. See, that's, I just like barely pressed on it, and it just already revved up to 2000 RPM almost. That's nice. I like that. All right, so anyway, so I'll have to wrap this up. This is all. This is Victor at RestoreMercedes.com. Thank you for watching.